Okay, so I'm at the loop track walk in Coffs Harbour in the rainforest loop track. And this route here is part of a strangler fig. And there's a lot of these strangler figs in this forest. They're a parasite that grows on another tree, the host tree, and eventually they use the tree to climb up and form their own structure. And eventually the host tree, which you can see just here, dies and rots away. And so you can also see here there are patches where you can actually look right through the strangler fig because it's hollow in the middle. And that's its main weakness, because this one here is leaning over and it lacks the structural integrity by virtue of the fact it has no core. And so one day in a big storm it's likely to fall over and crash to the ground. I just wouldn't want to be there when that happens. Amazing how these things grow. So here's the other side, and you can get a better look here of the core of this strangler, the original tree that it used to climb up. And you can see how rotted that is. There's not much of it left now, and that's why there's so many hollows that you can look right through, windows. And at the base of these you get these substantial shawl roots or buttresses that come out. So yeah, they look kind of substantial enough to hold it up, but the point is that it lacks that solid core of heartwood that would normally be in the middle of any tree. And so that makes them vulnerable once they get so tall. And if they've got a lean on them like this one, they're almost definitely going to come down one day. But that's nature, huh? Now, this one here, I wanted to show you. This is the beginning of a strangler fig. So you've got a pretty tall host tree there. Not quite sure what it is. Probably some sort of rainforest plum or something like that. And you can see the rather thin tendrils of fig that are climbing up here. Now, they didn't come in, they didn't start at the bottom here. That's the interesting thing. They didn't start down at the ground. They actually started from a seed that was popped out by a bird right up in the crown of the tree. And they germinate up there, and the first thing they do is put these runners, quite thin little tendrils, that run all the way to the bottom of the tree until they find the earth. And as soon as they hit the earth, they start to put some roots down, and then they start to grow back up. But this time they grow thick. So the one on the right there, that's growing quite thick. It's probably about 3 or 4 inches thick. And that's what happens. These ones get thicker and thicker, and gradually they literally strangle the tree by covering it completely with their own mass. And then you see what we saw before, that tree there can't survive, so it dies and rots away.